Hello guys, this is Movie Lover and welcome to this Movie Lover world. Today we are here with a drama and romantic movie. Named Minnie's First Time. At the beginning of the film our main character is shown, whose name is Minnie, and she is seen giving a speech. She says there were many problems in my life, but I learned one thing in all these things, that we should go after what we want after that. We see Minnie's birthday is celebrated, in which her mother has organized a big party. His mother's name is Diane, and here we see a lot of different characters. Here we are showing Elena, a friend of Diane's, who is married to her husband only for money. After that we see Mike at the party, who does a TV show, and he invites couples in his show, and gives some wedding tips. After that we see Minnie, who comes out nude from her birthday cake. All this she did to tease her mother. Actually her mother had an affair with a director at a young age. Her mother then marries a rich man to give birth to her, that's why she hated her mother. Then we see Diane and her daughter Minnie talking to each other, and as Diane is about to go somewhere, she tells Minnie that my liquor is about to be delivered and I am going to a party. Please receive that for me. Then we see Martin, who is Minnie's stepfather. Minnie's mother and father never get along. Minnie is a very stubborn girl. Whatever she has to do, she keeps doing it again. Tonight she felt like working in an escort service, so she went to do the same one day. She got an appointment again. When she arrived at the hotel, her customer was her stepfather Martin. She went straight to the bathroom and she thought, why not take advantage of this situation? She tells Martin to turn off the light. I am very shy, and then comes up to Martin, blindfolded her, and then intimates with her. After that, when she was coming back, Martin came from behind her. He says that you forgot your key there. When he sees Minnie, he is completely shocked. He cannot even speak. He doesn't say anything even after coming home. The next day we see Minnie and her friends. At school a boy passes a very dirty comment to Minnie's friend, on which Minnie asks him to open his pan. The boy run away with fear. Same night, while Diane is sleeping, Martin comes to Minnie and asks her to forget everything about that night. He says if your father was alive he would have taken good care of you, to which Minnie says, can't you take care of me? To which Martin laughs. And then these two become intimate. Now a very strong affair of these two had started. One night again Diane heard some noises from Minnie's bedroom. On noticing that Diane is coming to Minnie's room, Martin hide in the blanket. Diane notice that someone is with Minnie, so Diane says that to throw your friend out of the back door. That poor Diane did not even know about them yet. Now it's been 4 to 5 months. Martin tells Minnie that now I can't keep up with Diane, to which Minnie says that I also want to be with you. We should get my mother out of the way. Martin asks if you are talking about her murder. Then she says not at all, we will slowly make her crazy and send her to some mental asylum. If she becomes mad, then you will not even have to give her any property. Otherwise 50% of the property will have to be given to her in the divorce. Then the next day Minnie goes to school and steals sleeping pills from there. She used to make drinks for Diane, so gradually she started giving her. Now Diane had started getting mentally disturbed. She had to go for a massage for a day, so Minnie hides her keys. Then in anger she takes Martin's car. Both Martin and Minnie were trying to drive her crazy. Then when Diane leaves the house, Minnie cancels her appointment. When Diane arrived, her friend was getting a massage and also getting intimate with the masseur. Then Diane got angry and says, how can they give my appointment to someone else? And gets her hand fractured by punching her friend Elena. After this, to harass Diane, Minnie gets some animals from the zoo in the name of Diane. At home Diane goes to bed drunk every night, so it won't be a big deal for Minnie and Martin to prove her wrong. Then many such deliveries started coming. All these things had a very bad effect on Diane. She was now very drunk. After that, Minnie made a plan. One day she held a party in which she tells all the people that Diane is mentally disturbed. When Diane talks to people, everyone starts ignoring her, on which Diane created a huge scene there. Now she had become a lunatic in the eyes of the other people. One day when Diane went to meet her friend Minnie, gets some boys to call her. When she comes out, those boys threaten her and says, if you go home we will kill you. She got very scared on this, and the way she was talking, the security felt that she was crazy. Now she had become a lunatic in the eyes of every person. After this, Minnie and Martin are going to have a dinner at night. He also asks Diane, but she refuses. Then Minnie and Martin wear a black coat. Right then she gets a call from those boys too, who were threatening Diane. While she is talking, Minnie and Martin start scaring her with a knife. Diane runs away and locks herself in a room. When Martin and Minnie entered the room, Diane had taken too many sleeping pills. Martin start calling for help, but Minnie stopped him, to which Martin says that we had decided we will not murder her. Minnie says that even we will try to save her. She is going to commit suicide one day. Midnight has passed, but Diane hasn't died, to which Minnie says we'll have to do something on our own. They both put her into a car and start the car and let the car door open so that smoke enter in the car, and then she dies. Minnie was crying a lot after Diane's death. Then a detective comes to Interrogate them, he says, that I have to inquire whether it was suicide or murder, to which Minnie gets furious, says that my mother has just died, and what does all this mean? Then detective talks to Martin privately where Minnie and Martin were at that time. He asks them all as a proof. He also takes the car with him. Martin was very scared of this, so Minnie says don't be afraid, he doesn't know anything about us. After Diane's funeral, Diane's friend Elena starts hitting on Martin. She says, "Don't you feel alone? I am with you. Whenever you need anything, tell me." The next day again, Martin and Minnie goes on vacation. Both of them now started living like a couple, but one night, suddenly Mike comes over there. Seeing him there makes them scared. Martin is very scared. He says that Mike will tell everyone now, but Minnie says no, he will not do anything. If he does, then we will also reveal his secrets. Now because of this fear, Martin and Minnie's relationship also started getting worse. Then one day the detective came to meet Minnie. He says your mother had taken enough sleeping pills before she died and then suicided in the car. He says how can a person attempt suicide twice? Minnie wasn't answering properly, so he gets more suspicious of it. Next night again the detective comes to interrogate them. Both of them have done all the preparations before then. All his questions were answered by them properly. Martin says next time if you want to ask anything, talk to my lawyer. After this, Martin tells Minnie that you should not have talked to him in private. She felt very bad about this. Due to this there was a lot of quarrel between them. Then Minnie went to a club in anger. Martin followed her and finds she was dancing with someone else. Then the next day when she comes home, Martin asks her where were you last night? Minnie says that don't try to be my father and boyfriend. At the same time Martin says that both of us are in a relationship. You don't do anything wrong, that's why I worry. Have you ever been in a relationship before? Minnie says this is my first time. The next day when Martin came to the office he sees that Minnie and his photo sent by someone. When he finds the address he found that he had come from Mike's office. Now he starts doubting Mike. Then his boss calls him and says because of you one of our employees is gone, so they fired him out. After all this now he was quite disturbed. At night he tells everything to Minnie. Minnie says that the police already suspects us and if you do this their suspicion will become strong. Minnie then goes to Mike the next day and asks him to come on a show, to which Mike says if you want to come you can come whenever you want. Then they both have fun and spend the whole day together. The next day when Minnie came to school the detective was already there. He shows Minnie a video recording of Minnie stealing medicines from the store. She says my mother asked me to do all this. She used to blackmail me. If I didn't do all this she would have sent me to Canada, but detective doesn't believe her words. The next day the detective calls both of them to the office. He says that both of you are lying. I will prove it. He tells Martin that we give you an offer if you say that this whole plan was of Minnie, then you can survive, and after that he gives the same offer to Minnie, but both Martin and Minnie flatly refuse. The same night they both go to watch Mike's show where Minnie went. Martin learns here that Minnie went there before and got intimate with Mike as well. Because of this they both fights. Martin gets furious and went straight to kill Mike. But before Martin killed Mike, Minnie called the police. Police reached Mike's house and arrested Martin. The police felt that Diane's murder was also done by him, so they put him on jail. One day Minnie comes to meet him, so Martin says that our photos are still with Mike, on which Minnie says you are very stupid. Actually I used to send all those photos to you. Whatever happened it was my plan. Now poor Martin is in jail forever. And this movie ends here. I hope you like the video. Movie lover will meet you again with new story. Till take care.